You've been lied to. You've been conditioned to think insecurity is bad. You've been conditioned to think anxiety is bad. You've been conditioned to think depression is bad. You've been conditioned to think suicidal thoughts are bad. And so because you've been conditioned to think those feelings are bad, if you ever begin to notice that you are feeling them, you push them away. You even push the acknowledgement of those feelings away and you run as far as you can in your mind. So far, and so fast, that you actually are not even aware that you're feeling that way. So far that you would likely be 100% sure you aren't feeling that way at all. That's how wild this shit is. This is all taking place in your shadow or subconscious or unconscious mind. The reason you run from these feelings is because if you were to acknowledge the truth of those feelings, the truth of the insecurity, anxiety, depression or suicidal thoughts, you would begin to experience even worse feelings. Feelings of fear, guilt and shame. Because these are the feelings animals feel when they make a mistake or do something wrong. Because they don't know what to do. And this is the same way society programs you to feel. The worse it can keep you feeling, the more easily it can control you. But what makes it even worse, is that you feel like a lost hurt animal who doesn't know what to do, but thinks it does know what to do. LOL. That's how scary this shit is. When we feel bad we don't know what to do. But instead of recognizing we don't know what to do, and turning to God for trust and guidance, we just keep trying to fix it ourselves. And consequently, we just keep making it worse and worse and worse. You have to pay attention to your mind. So now it's layers of negative feelings on negative feelings on negative feelings. Layers of fear and guilt and shame. So because you've been programmed to think certain feelings are bad you end up internalizing them and feeling fear, guilt and shame as a result. Fear of badness causes guilt. And the guilt causes shame. And the shame causes more confusion and more fear. And so on the cycle continues. And this is the beginning of you living a lie. The truth is that none of those feelings, insecurity, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, none of those feelings are bad. What is bad is not being honest about them. The truth is those feelings are just feelings. And feelings aren't good. Or bad. They're just feelings. But those feelings can also be teaching you something and showing you something about yourself if you let them. So instead of trying to not have those feelings, just try to notice when you are having those feelings. And notice your thoughts. And notice feeling bad, and notice feeling shame, and notice wanting to even deny that those feelings are real and present. Because when you deny your feelings, you're actually practicing self-hate. And the reason this world wants you feeling bad about those feelings is because this is a suicidal death cult that is fueled on you hating yourself, because this world hates itself. And it hates God. And as long as you hate God, your Creator, you will keep self-sabotaging. Because hating God, your Creator, is hating yourself. And by the way, if you ever find yourself feeling self-hate or hating God, those feelings aren't bad either. And God doesn't have a problem with them. As long as you're honest with Him about them. The truth is when we feel bad, our inclination is to run away and hide from God. So just noticing that is fucking massive. And so, instead of trying to not have those feelings, notice the feelings. Acknowledge them. Sit with them. Learn from them. And ask God to show you why you're feeling them. But do not identify with those feelings. And if you do identify with those feelings sometimes, it's okay. Just notice it. And be honest about it. And surrender that to God. Let them come and let them go. You are not your feelings. But your feelings are a part of you. And your feelings are there for a reason. And to push your feelings away is to lean on your own understanding and to not trust God. And when you don't trust God, you are trapped in a cycle of self-hate. So instead, embrace the feelings. Make them feel heard. Make them feel loved. And now you are practicing self-love. And self-love is what you can find in Jesus. And I have great news. Because of Jesus, what I'm asking you to do is actually very simple. Just trust Jesus. Cast your cares on Him. Cast your insecurities on Jesus. Cast your anxieties on Jesus. Cast your depression on Jesus. Cast your suicidal thoughts on Jesus. Cast your fear on Jesus. Cast your guilt on Jesus. Cast your shame on Jesus. Jesus is the truth. Jesus is love. Jesus is peace. Jesus gives you the grace to be able to face your own negative feelings without judgment. He gives you the freedom to look at your depression, and look at your suicidal thoughts, and look at your anxiety, and look at your insecurities, without guilt and shame. He sets you free. And that's why where the Spirit of Christ is, there is freedom. This world hates you, but fear not. Because this world hated Jesus first. He's got your back no matter what. Because Jesus is the antidote to the chaos and lies of this world. Because this world hates the truth. Which is why the world murdered Jesus. Jesus is the embodiment of truth in this world. But here's the thing this world doesn't understand. You can't murder the truth. Just like you can't run from your problems. Because when you murder the truth, you run the risk of awakening it inside of more and more people. And it comes back a billion times harder. Because as hard as this world tries to murder the truth, it can't. Because this world is a fucking lie. And the lie, and the con, can only go on for so long. But everyone knows. At some point the lie ends. And the truth ascends to the throne. And the truth reigns. And the truth is, it may seem like this world and the system of lies it operates under, and controls you in. It may seem like this world is winning. But it only appears that way. Know the truth. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. Jesus has already won. Jesus has already set you free from your guilt and your shame. From your insecurity. And Jesus has already set you free from your depression. From your anxiety. From your fear. And from your suicidal thoughts. The age of the reign of the satanic world of lies is coming to an end. And the age of the reign of Christ is upon us. All glory and honor to the Most High God.